Hi, I'm Dr. Damien Lebemoff with Dayton Surgeons Incorporated. I'm going to talk to you about the anterior surgical exposures for lumbar fusion. By now you've already met with your spine surgeon, and they have decided that you would be best served by having an anterior spinal fusion. You're now meeting with us because we do the exposures for this, and I'll explain you a little bit about what we do and why we're involved with this. The spine, as you know, runs up and down, and it's a series of vertebrae with the L4, L5, L4, L3, L4, L5, S1. At some point, your spine surgeon has determined that you need to have one or more of these vertebral bodies fused together. They would like to go in and fuse them in the midline. The problem that you run into, since the spine is in the middle, it takes a vascular surgeon to expose it. If you look at this picture, there's a blood vessel called the aorta that comes down, and there's also a blood vessel called the vena cava that we need to move gently out of the way in order to accomplish this surgical approach. The way we do this is if we lay you on your back and we cut you like a piece of bread, the spine's in the back, the aorta is here, the vena cava is here. We need to be in this area, so we make an incision in the middle, typically just to the left of the belly button and straight down. We come into the abdomen and we swing around like this. This allows us to gently push those blood vessels out of the way, and in fact, they end up in a position very similar to this. And this allows the exposure to the vertebral bodies that are necessary. The problem with this procedure is when we come through here, the intestines are in here, and they get pushed out of the way. So the largest and most common complication that we see this from this procedure is a situation called an ileus. And an ileus is when the intestines don't work. So even though we're not operating on your intestines, the first day after surgery, it's not unusual that you don't have anything to eat or only a few ice chips. If the intestines work well, then we'll quickly advance your diet up. Another complication, or the complication that everybody worries about, is bleeding because of the proximity to the large blood vessels. That is something that can be taken care of at surgery, and it's not as big of an issue as the ileus. Again, we make an incision in the middle and we swing around. The incision will be closed with sutures that dissolve. The spine surgery will keep you limited much longer than the surgical incision. So when the spine surgeon allows you to get back to full activity, from a surgical standpoint through the middle incision, there's no restrictions. We'll typically follow you in the hospital while you're there and see you in our office and follow up only if there are issues revolving around that incision.